the House of Windsor. Keepers of a throne, guardians of tradition, symbols of a nation's continuity.
That I have found it impossible to carry the heavy burden of responsibility.
And heirs to a legacy as fragile as the crown itself.
3 cheers for His Majesty the King! Hip hip!
Their story is one of duty, love and heartache.
I, William Arthur Philip Louis.
Take thee, Catherine Elizabeth.
Take thee, Catherine Elizabeth.
To my wedded wife.
To my wedded wife.
Roger, orange smoke now.
On the long walk in Windsor, 2 brothers who have barely spoken a word in the last couple of years.
Meet the key figures of the most famous family in the world and understand what makes them royal, but human all the same. Camilla, Queen of the United Kingdom and 14 other Commonwealth realms, has lived a life that blends the traditions of British aristocracy with a deep sense of warmth and family. Born Camilla Rosemary Shand on July 17, 1947, she was raised in the heart of British high society. Her upbringing, filled with joy and adventure, was rooted in a strong family bond. Her father, Major Bruce Shand, a decorated army officer, and her mother, Rosalind Shand, the daughter of a baron and a devoted charity worker, nurtured Camilla's early years. Camilla's childhood unfolded in the picturesque countryside of East Sussex, where her love for country life and equestrian pursuits blossomed. Later, her education at Queen's Gate School in London and finishing schools in Switzerland and France helped polish her into a woman of grace and confidence while remaining grounded. Camilla often reflects on her early years with fondness, describing them as perfect in every way. It was a childhood filled with laughter, close-knit family ties, and the values that would shape her into the queen she is today.
She was very good at actually kind of making you feel very relaxed and at home, very much at home. She's the kind of person that was quite happy to pour you a drink. You walk into her house, she'll put the kettle on, she'll make you a cup of tea, no question about it. Caring, compassionate, she was always just so relaxed with things, and again, always very polite, and if something was wrong, she could tell if there was a problem, or you're having a bad day, or you weren't smiling. She would always ask you. She would always ask you what's wrong and were you okay.
Rosalind's commitment to helping others through her work at the Chailey Heritage Foundation, an organisation supporting children with disabilities, would leave a lasting impression on her daughter. Taking from her mother's hard-working nature, Camilla has also become a tireless advocate, supporting over 90 charities as patron or president. Her work spans a wide range of causes, from health and literacy to domestic violence, empowering women and supporting the elderly. Her dedication to helping those in need is evident in her championing of victims of rape and sexual assault, as well as her passion for causes like animal welfare, food security, and the preservation of dance, heritage, and the arts.
So the Duchess of Cornwall is involved in many charities, good causes. She wants to obviously, she's very passionate about violence against women, quite rightly. But when I was there, it was osteoporosis was a big thing for her because of her mother.
My mother was only 72. Then, only 8 years ago, osteoporosis was seldom discussed, rarely diagnosed, and usually attributed to old women with so-called dowager's humps.
I mean, it's an awful disease. I mean, all diseases are awful, but that is just, it's awful. And she witnessed her mother go through that. And that was something she was genuinely, absolutely passionate about. You know, really passionate about it.
And her suffering so unbearable that she just gave up the fight and lost the will to live. As a result of my mother's death, I became determined to find some way of helping people with osteoporosis from experiencing the same fate and general disregard that she encountered.
The other thing I remember with the Duchess's compassionate side is the Roald Dahl's Marvellous Children's Charity, and that's where they get all the children that have got life-threatening illnesses and diseases. I say life-threatening, I think a lot of them do not live for many, many months after seeing the Duchess at Christmas time, when they arrive at Clarence's house to help decorate the Christmas tree. Do you know, it's one of the worst, I say the worst things, it was heartbreaking being involved in this, because you're there, obviously as a butler, to do our job, and then she'd have all these kids come along to decorate the Christmas tree, and then you hear the stories about how your second one's only got so many months to live, or weeks, or hopefully, you know, longer. And so I started hearing these stories, and I just got upset. I actually had to leave, get permission to leave the room, because I just started crying, because it just absolutely broke me watching this. And before I went, the Duchess was with one of them hanging something. She looked over at me, and then she did what she did. She came over and she said, "Are you okay?" And I went, kind of thing. And she said, "Will you maybe a bit ago?" And then I could see her eyes. She was welled up as well. Oh, it was awful. I mean, it was just awful. And I thought, what amazed how you can do it. The fact you're doing this is wonderful. I don't know how you do it, because I would just be standing there crying. That's all I do. And that's the kids can't see that. So that shows you that wonderful side to her. I just thought this is just an amazing lady, and this is one of the things that we get to see that she does. There's a lot more goes on that we don't see behind the scenes, but that's one of the things she does, and that love and compassion that she shows others is amazing, and it's real. It's real. I've seen that. I know that. It's real. She's got a wonderful, caring, compassionate side to her, which I think is important to be a monarch. These are things that you need these days.
Camilla also has a deep love of reading, which stems from a personal place. Her father, Major Bruce Shand, was a war hero who endured the hardships of being a prisoner of war during the Second World War. It's said that it was his influence, his strength and love of literature, that sparked Camilla's lifelong passion for books and literacy. Today, she continues that legacy, bringing hope and inspiration to countless people through her charitable work, with her parents' impact forever shaping her mission to make a difference. In the late 1960s, a young Camilla Shand crossed paths with Andrew Parker Bowles, a guards officer who worked for her father's wine firm in Mayfair. After an on-and-off romance spanning years, their engagement was finally announced in the Times in 1973. On July 4th of that year, the couple wed in a Roman Catholic ceremony at the Guards Chapel in London. Camilla was 25 and Andrew was 33. Together, they had 2 children, Tom, born in 1974, and Laura in 1978. But after 21 years of marriage, the relationship ended in 1995, with Camilla and Andrew formally divorcing. Soon after, Andrew remarried, while Camilla's life took a dramatic turn. Her past and future became intertwined with the man who would one day be king, Charles III.
Well, Charles was in love with Camilla from a very early age. You know, when he was still in the Navy, he fell in love with Camilla. She was funny. She was a great rider. and she made him laugh. And I think she's very, very attractive to both men and women because of her personality. She's got a wonderful personality. And, when Charles first met her, I mean, she didn't care what she looked like, but, she was a great horsewoman. She was really sporty. And I suppose she was a challenge, too, because, she was basically in love with Andrew Parker Bowles. So I think she had a lot of ingredients that Charles really, really fell in love with, and he never really fell out of love with her. So it is a very romantic story.
Camilla first met Charles in 1971 at a polo match in Windsor Great Park, before her relationship with Parker Bowles. Their shared love of polo and equestrian life created an immediate bond. Both were country people at heart, sharing a down-to-earth humour that drew them close. Legend has it that Camilla playfully teased Charles by saying, "My great-grandmother was the mistress of your great-great-grandfather, so how about it?" The light-hearted comment reportedly charmed Charles, and thus began a connection that would span decades.
They are the best of friends, they are a team. Everything about them is just great, and there's nothing false about it. There's nothing made up. What you all see is what I saw. It's a real love between them, and they work well together. They laugh. Wow, they laugh so much together, which it's great to see as well. And they're just comfortable around each other. They're very comfortable, very much. I mean, what's wonderful is they've obviously known each other for such a long time. They are the best of friends, as well. But they are a great team. I remember kind of thinking that, to be in that kind of relationship, that's what everyone really wants from a partner. Is you want to be in a relationship like that, where you've got your I suppose you're married to your best friend.
In the early years, royal duty pulled them apart. Charles left for the Royal Navy, and societal pressures, particularly regarding Camilla's past relationships, strained their connection. Upon his return, Camilla was engaged to Andrew Parker Bowles. Despite this, she remained a constant presence in Charles's life, even encouraging his marriage to Lady Diana Spencer. Although Charles and Camilla's romantic relationship had ended, their deep friendship endured.
I think Charles was very, very hurt when Camilla and Andrew got married, and he stayed well out of it. He was away at sea, and he knew it was going to happen, but he just didn't want to be part of it. So he just stayed well out of the way, and I think he was very, very sad about it, but he knew that probably there was nothing he could do about it. Camilla liked Diana when she first met her, because I think she thought Diana wouldn't be a threat. Diana was so young and so naive, and Camilla thought that this is perfect for Charles, she's pliable. But of course Diana was not pliable at all. And I think Camilla thought she's gorgeous, tall and aristocratic, and would do exactly what Charles wanted. But of course she wasn't like that at all.
By 1995, as both Camilla and Andrew Parker Bowles finalised their divorce, and Charles and Diana officially parted ways in 1996, the stage was set for the rekindling of an infamous romance.
I always think it's sad that it took so many years for them to get to that point. I'm a huge believer in fate, so I think it's gone the way it's meant to have gone.
Throughout these turbulent years, Camilla's public life grew. She took on numerous charitable causes, becoming a vocal supporter of victims of rape, sexual abuse, and domestic violence. Her dedication earned her widespread respect and led to the expansion of her charitable work into areas like literacy, animal welfare, and poverty.
Now, the purpose of asking you all here today is to try and form a united front to help victims of rape and sexual abuse.
Through speaking up about our experiences, we break the wall of silence that allows perpetrators to go unpunished and increases the feeling of isolation that so many survivors describe.
In 2005, after many years, Charles and Camilla wed at Windsor Guildhall in the presence of the couple's families. The path to this wasn't easy, but together they overcame many obstacles and today are the King and Queen of the United Kingdom.
Unbelievable. I mean, it was amazing because suddenly there I am as a guest of the Prince of Wales and Cornwall, and with all the celeb friends, with other royals, VIPs, dignitaries, prime ministers, and I'm there as a guest. And oddly enough, my brother at that point was working for the Queen, and I remember he actually came and offered me a drink. There was a bit of banter, there was a bit of humour between the two of us over it, but offered me a drink, and it was because he and his colleagues were obviously working at that event. But it was amazing, absolutely amazing. And then I was given a piece of wedding cake, which I've kept as well. I don't know if it's still edible, but I've still got it. But that was them. That shows you what kind of people they are. They personally invited me to their wedding because they wanted me to be there. So it wasn't because it was a standard thing where everyone else, if you'd done a certain amount of time, it was automatic. You got an invite. With me, it was generally because they liked me, so they sent me an invitation. Which I don't think there's too many people, unless you're friends or family, I don't think there's too many people that could say that from a staff point of view. So I always felt really lucky that that's what they thought of me. You know, that's just a memory that I will always treasure. I went to her wedding.
That's brilliant.
She earned the title Duchess of Cornwall.
The one thing I remember when you talk about the transition from Camilla Packables to the Duchess of Cornwall, the one thing I do remember is that her security detail suddenly appeared. So before, it was just her on her own. If I ever saw her, she would just be on her own. Where suddenly, she would have a detective with her because she was going to be with the royal family. And that was the biggest change I noticed. And for example, if I was to suddenly get in her car and move or something, which I used to do, suddenly they would do it instead, which didn't mean to say I couldn't do it, but it's just suddenly she had police protection. And that was I found that just such a strange thing to see. Or if she went somewhere, you'd see the kind of Range Rover following them. And that's the biggest change that takes place within that transition. As far as the rest of it goes, she was the same from day one to the day I left.
In 2016, Queen Elizabeth II honoured Camilla by appointing her to the Privy Council, a significant royal endorsement of her commitment to the monarchy and her future role as the wife of the King. It was a pivotal moment, publicly signalling the Queen's acceptance of Charles and Camilla's enduring relationship. In 2022, during her Platinum Jubilee message, Queen Elizabeth II made a landmark announcement, expressing her wish for Camilla to be known as Queen Consort when the time came. It was a heartfelt nod to the evolving monarchy, recognising Camilla's unwavering loyalty to the crown.
I think it's important to the Queen because I think she's a huge believer that as the wife of a king, that lady should be Queen Consort. That's how she sees it, and I think that's really important. So that's why has asked all of us to acknowledge that wish and accept her as the wife of Prince Charles, as a Queen Consort when he becomes king.
Buckingham Palace has announced the death of Queen Elizabeth II, the longest reigning monarch in British history.
The Queen died peacefully at Balmoral this afternoon. The King and the Queen Consort will remain at Balmoral this evening and will return to London tomorrow.
Later that same year, the nation mourned the loss of Queen Elizabeth II, who passed away after an extraordinary 70-year reign, the longest in British history. With her passing, Charles ascended the throne as King Charles III, and Camilla stepped into her role as Queen.
She made sacrifices for duty. Her dedication and devotion as sovereign never wavered, through times of change and progress, through times of joy and celebration, and through times of sadness and loss. In her life of service, we saw that abiding love of tradition, together with that fearless embrace of progress, which makes us great as nations. The affection, admiration, and respect she inspired became the hallmark of her reign.
On May 6, 2023, the world watched as King Charles III and Queen Camilla were crowned in a historic coronation at Westminster Abbey. Camilla wore Queen Mary's crown, which had been altered to include diamonds from Queen Elizabeth II's personal collection. Now, with her title officially changed to the Queen, Camilla stands alongside King Charles, poised to help lead the monarchy into the future. Her journey from country girl to Queen of the United Kingdom complete.
She's come a long way. Wow, what a journey. And part of me says she's a survivor. And part of me says Charles has got what he wanted in the end. He's got the love of his life standing beside him. I think Camilla is quite ordinary in lots of ways, and that ability to reach out to ordinary people has helped her fulfill her role as Queen Consort.
As the years have unfolded, Queen Camilla's journey stands as a testament to resilience, dedication, and the power of transformation. From a carefree girl in the English countryside to the subject of public scrutiny, and finally to her role as Queen, her life has been marked by quiet determination and an unwavering commitment to service. Today, as Queen Camilla stands beside King Charles III, her influence on the future of the monarchy is unmistakable.
I think you have to give credit where it's due and say that Camilla has been a steadying hand on the monarchy, which is ironic, really, from being the most unstable element of the monarchy to being the most stable is a hell of a shift. But I think what she brings to the relationship between her and Charles is stability, friendship, love, all those things which partners need. And I think she does put her hand on his shoulder at times and says no. Because, you know, nobody can say no to the king. Everybody has to say yes. And if you say no, you're out. Well, Camilla can say no, because she's never going to be out. So that in itself is a good stabilizing influence on the new Carolean court.
With grace, dignity, and a quiet strength, she continues to carve her path, shaping the legacy of a new era for the British royal family. Her journey has been one of evolution, resilience, and ultimately, redemption, an enduring queen who now steps confidently into the next chapter of royal history.